to tell it how big the radius is, and you're going to tell it which way to comp for that radius. And we've got some little, I'm going to call them issues with the TL. We've got to figure out that tool tip orientation on that TL before it's over. Alright, so far so good, guys. Can we call this the tool path? And everybody understands that I could take a different print right now, a different part totally, and I could use this, making a few adjustments based on material size, based on material type, right? I could write its tool geometry, tool path right here, and then close it up with a finish pass. Let's talk about that finish pass.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's talk about that finish pass. That finish pass can be our very next line if we're using the same tool. If we're using the same tool, I could come in here with a G70. P10, Q20. I could even give it another feed rate here.
I thought you like to put your feed rate on the first line as your tool path
I do.
for the finish.
I do. They didn't, so I am here. How did they do it here? Oh, they did something else too, which is kind of cool. They adjusted for their finish pass, they adjusted their G96. You see that program they have? They upped their surface footage, which is going to get them more RPMs to do the finish profile to get a better finish.
Why'd you put read at 7? I thought it read the mechanic cycle, like the feeds you already have in it right there.
It will. If I want to control it for my finish pass, I can. Otherwise, it's going to run off of the feed rates that are in here.
Okay.
So, if you have your feed rate set for the G70,
Yes.
and you've got different feed rates for the G01s and G02s inside the tool path.
Yes.
When it comes to those, which one's it going to do?
I believe on the Haas it's going to do the one that I've got on the G70. It's going to be your most recent one, your last one. Now, on a part like this that I'm going from a 375 all the way up to 1.5 inches diameter, I would probably want to control it in my finished path. Slowing down on the radiuses, internal and external. You can put a feed rate here. This is optional, guys. If you'll look at your programming manual, what does it say? It has a little asterisk out beside both of these on feed rate, optional. What they're doing is they're putting an S, adjusting their constant surface footage for finished cut. Guys, at that point, after the G70, I could do a G28, send this thing home to either finish or do a tool change. Let's look at a tool change structure. I'm going to send it home. I'm going to do an op stop. This is going to give me the option of whether or not I want to stop the machine. If I flip the op stop switch on, when it reads that, it's going to shut the machine down, stop the coolant, stop the spindle, stop the feed, stop all motion. It's going to give me an opportunity to check my tools, my tool tips, my inserts. Guys, my next code, I could do my safe start line. The only reason that I would have that up, guys, is what? Why would I put that line in there? If I wanted to run this program starting at this tool, I would start at that MO1. I would read my prep commands, my CYA line, and then I could run just from this point down. If I start here and I don't have that line in, this information does not get into the machine. It's probably not crippling. You'll look at this, these are machine defaults. It's still a good habit to get into. I want to get you into this habit before I get you to mills.
Say that all over again, please.
If I want to start and just run, I'm fixing to program the part off cycle. Okay? Let's say for some reason I want to start at the part off tool. I can edit, search that MO1, go back into automatic and hit cycle start. It's going to read my CYA line first thing, putting me in control of the modes that are active, right? And then my next line of code would be, sorry, I have it. I'm going to call up a tool. What else am I going to do? Our structure is going to look very much like this, guys. G50, S3000, or yada yada, whatever you want it to be. G97 with an S of whatever, 800 M3. What's coming next? I'm going to wrap it to a position to part this thing off. In this case, I'm going to go to 1.7. Actually, I can do this a couple of different ways, guys. When I wrap it down, this is a safety clearance. I can use it all the way throughout my part. I can wrap it to this point, and then I could give a real aggressive feed moving back in Z that I could control. I could wrap it to the point that I want to go to face off. I could wrap it straight to it. This is a programming preference. Okay? If I'm in single block, this stops me in front of the part, no issues. I then can hit it and go forward, controlling the amount of feed, no issues. If I wrap it straight to the point of part off, and whatever the case may be, I've started it at the wrong point, I've got excess material on, whatever the case may be, I could have a bump. We're going to be as safe as we possibly can. I'm going to go to the face of the part, and then I'm going to move back to, what's my point where I need to part off at? 1.510. And I could give that a 0.050. It's a real high feed rate. I'm not cutting anything, but I'm moving back to the end of my part.
Do you need to wrap it on the X1.72? Or, okay.
It's already active. It's in my CYA line. Does it hurt anything? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I could have a GO and a G54 right here on this line. You'll see that repeated a lot in the industry.
What was your exact question again?
Do I need to wrap a GOO on this line?
Okay.
My approach point line. Because of my consistent method of programming, that GOO is in my CYA line, so I know I'm in the rapid mode of operation. Grant.
Would you not want to slow it down because we're going to be parting off?
But say that one more time.
Your speeds?
My feed or my speed?
speeds? speed up? Like,
I haven't even instigated my surface footage as of yet.
Are you going to use the G96 when you part it off?
Yeah, probably, because that's the biggest difference that I'm going to make. What am I moving in?
X.
The only way I can control, as that diameter gets smaller, I need more RPMs to make a good, consistent chip, good, consistent cut.
What is it? What is that at the end of that last line you wrote?
It's an F.
That's an F. I'm sorry. You try writing from an angle over here. After a while, it gets a little skewish.